Online ranked racing is becoming increasingly important in the world of sim racing, and a couple of our biggest news stories on this week's The Late Apex focus on that. LFM is expanding and rivals are coming up to rival them as well. We'll be discussing all of that, plus the news when it comes to Apex Racing Team with some fantastic results. We've got some brilliant clips as well of Apex Racing TV action, and of course new championships starting as well on Apex Racing League as well. My name is Sam Fitzpatrick. Alongside me is David Sampson. David, how are you this evening?
I am good. Good pizza. Good race to broadcast.
I
Happy
ate all my
days.
pizza. I don't usually do that.
Wait, I've ate all my pizza and I always do that.
Yeah, but yeah. But no, good.
I take this serious though. It's
Yeah,
I think about every bite.
Joey Chestnut is your
Yeah,
hero.
exactly.
I mean, sorry to get off tangent straight away, but Joey Chestnut, arguably the greatest sports person of all time.
Good for you.
Like 69 hot dogs in 10 minutes is insane.
It is.
Incredible stuff. I recommend looking at his technique. It's crazy. Let's discuss then LFM and AMS2, because we did not know about this story until very recently, but it's probably the biggest news story for tonight. Because this is something that we've sort of been wanting to happen for a while. AMS2, very good sort of base game, but lacks really any online sort of competitiveness.
Yeah.
And them teaming up with LFM in seemingly a very tight collusion is really positive.
Yeah, I mean this is it, right? Because they've got the sound, they've got the physics on point. The cars are fun to drive. The tire model feels great. They've got a good selection of tracks. They've recently got the endurance pack with the GTPs, the GT3. Like, it's all they were missing. All they were missing was some online competitive play with ranked lobbies, with split, with the protest system, with rating, with safety rating, all the things we've come to expect from, well, iRacing, LFM with their ACC and AC and development. Obviously, Le Mans Ultimate following suit, not with LFM integration, but doing the system on their own. It's crazy, right? Obviously, I'm super pleased about this, but it goes to show how far LFM are across. Because Ultimate Blister 2's announcement could have been the exact same today, but just left off the word of LFM, right?
Sure.
So it goes to show how integral, how big they've become. I mean, when
Yeah.
I first ever heard about low fuel motorsports doing some online thing with ACC, I was almost like, yeah.
It was a couple of years ago now, wasn't it?
I was thinking, good luck with that.
Mm.
What do you hope? How are you going to afford this? And then you start seeing the Coach Dave Academy, you start seeing sponsors, you start seeing the Esport League, and then still didn't think much of it. But then, I mean, wow. I mean, it's been a phenomenal feat what LFM have pulled off. And I like Ultimate Blister 2. I always tell the same story. I'm always to the point where I like it, but then so what? What do I do now? Like, I'm an all-in kind of guy. Like, I don't just play a game for 10 minutes and, oh, that was fun, I might come back. No. What do I do? And I don't race AIs. Yeah, so this is mega news. Really mega news. Like, I am hyped.
Absolutely. This is what the statement was. Exciting news. We are officially collaborating with Riser Studios to introduce LFM support for Automobilista 2. The collaboration is expected to fuel further development of AMS2's multiplayer system, a project we are delighted to participate in. Stay tuned. So, yeah, more updates soon. And the comments are positive, as one would expect.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, really good news. You were mentioning as well before that you're excited that this might mean that they're taking this stuff seriously, which is odd because, like, what's been the delay? iRacing have been doing it for 20 years in terms of competitive online stuff, and I think games sort of half-heartedly do it, don't they? Where, like, you'll occasionally see games have got a safety rating or a license rating, and to be fair, we should point out some games do it, like Gran Turismo. To be fair to them, they have ranked online stuff like that, which sort of we take for granted, but they have that online system as well. But so many of these other games have fallen behind, and then, yeah, Low Fuel Motorsport just single-handedly like increased the increased the enjoyment of so many sim races.
Yeah, I mean, they unburied R Factor 2. Let's be frank. R Factor 2 are still posting good numbers now. It's insane what they've managed to pull off. Yeah, I can't. And it just gives me hope that, obviously, unfortunately for LFM, they have to see this problem. But AMS2,
Has that actually been announced?
no, not at all. And Assetto Corsa Evo and everything, surely they're thinking about their own system, a bit more control, because, you know, it's perfect for them, but now they've got a tiptoe, because any partners or sponsors they have that conflict with their LFM partner sponsors could be a problem for them. Like, integrated is always going to be more advantageous going forward. But the other point, LFM has a player base, a massive player base. Actually, I'm going to get the number, but it's huge. Local Motorsports. Give me a second.
Yes. But yeah, of course, like David was saying before, of course, Assetto Corsa Evo coming out later on the year.
179,415 users on the system.
We're 2 of them.
Today, 190 new. Currently racing right now on track, 316. 74 million LFM laps. And obviously they've got the whole delivery thing integrated, setups integrated, there's team events. They're partnered with SimGrid. Obviously SimGrid and LFM are now just one. Yeah, it's exciting times. Sim racing seems to be getting its second wind.
Yes. Yeah, really good.
Perhaps seeing what LFM, this is from chat, perhaps seeing what LFM did for AC on iRacing changed their minds about Rise Up. Without LFM, AC will be a little more than a mod sandbox. I don't agree.
I mean, I think it's mainly ACC.
ACC, yeah.
Which LFM is really...
AC, Dominic, is the largest sim racing platform on the planet, regardless of LFM. AC is sure not for online competitive play. That's iRacing and Gran Turismo and ACC LFM. But AC online is nothing, not really. But AC's huge, mate. AC's the king for player base. Actually,
yeah.
See if I can bring up some numbers.
Yeah, because it's such a popular game when it comes to consoles as well, and of course it's been around for so long, 10 years or so. Assetto Corsa has been around. Dominic, I meant just for the competitive play.
Okay.
Sim racing basically doesn't matter in terms of sim racing.
Yeah, because right now there's 8. Thomas obviously just checked. There's 18. Right now there's
and that's on PC.
18,600. Yeah, on PC.
You can probably at least double that for console.
Unbelievable. Players right now 17-1, 24-hour peak 18-7, all time 19-3. Like, steady heart rate.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's right. I don't think AC online competitive play really boomed though on LFM. It did okay. I tried it and I just fell out of love with it because it was almost like, I mean, you had to get a mod for the starting procedure. You had to get a mod for the white flag.
They were using the mods then?
Oh, they had... To join a race, you had to make sure you had all these mods installed because they didn't... AC's just not built to handle this. And some parts felt great, some parts didn't. So, but no, ACC actually hit an all-time peak yesterday. Yeah, it did.
Yeah. Maybe show your screen in terms of...
Sorry, yeah.
So maybe expand it out to like 10 years or max.
Well, just showing what Thomas mentioned. The all-time peak ever for AC was yesterday. Holy moly.
Yeah, that's quite a gain, isn't it?
Somebody stop me.
So iRacing, it sort of averages about, what, 10k, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or so. So iRacing is where AC was 2 years ago, sorry.
That's insane. What steady numbers.
Mm.
So yeah, sim racing's just on the up, by the way. Just on the up.
Yes, and I think that brings us on to our second story, which is SimGrid Seasons, which is a bit of a rival to LFM, sort of, but not totally. I think the way that SimGrid Seasons at the moment, so SimGrid, if people aren't aware, they host, they're sort of like a hosting platform for like leagues on a variety of different games, mainly PC games, but also a little bit of console stuff as well, I believe. But they have launched their Seasons edition.
I saw this morning.
And this focuses, rather than on PC stuff, it's on console stuff. So, and that's a big thing when it came to their launch, is that so often consoles get left behind when it comes to online competitive play. But this is going to be focusing on console. Currently, I believe the only game that it does support is ACC on console. But I think they plan to expand that out, not just on other console platforms, but also on PC as well. So good for people who are on ACC console, which is not a thriving game by any means. It's not particularly popular, but this will make a lot of those people happy.
Oh, 100%. I was very excited to read about this. Yeah, obviously it's not the world we focus or care about, the console world, but bringing people towards our direction of travel. Like, how many times on this podcast do I spend 7 minutes ranting about bringing the console player base our way? You know, a tube rig, a 49-inch monitor. I don't care if they're using a PlayStation or Xbox or a little PC, or I don't care if they're using a Raspberry Pi. But if we can get them playing iRacing 2, you know, or AMS LFM or ACC LFM, which obviously this is great, but the cross-play. Like, iRacing, we worry about dead splits, or, you know, we would never, ever worry again. I don't think people understand what the untapped potential of the sim racing, like, you know, we look down on the console drivers. They think of us as just splashing cash. But if we could somehow, I know Android users and iPhone users never met in the middle, but if we could somehow bring these together, and then you've got the opportunity of, like, yeah, the Gran Turismos and the Microsofts and the Forces all looking at this with a different mindset. Like, okay, actually, what about if we do what iRacing's doing and what Rensport's doing and what LMU's doing, and we just buy all the licenses and dominate? Yeah, it would be amazing.
It really would be. By the way, a slight detour, we will come back to this later, but Fred Schwartz in chat asking, are you guys looking forward to ARL Endurance? Well, Fred, I have to correct you. It's Abruzzi ARL Endurance, of course, our title sponsors. But we are very much looking forward to it, Fred. Yeah, that will be starting on Friday. Sign-ups are still open. We will talk about it a bit later on. So yeah, SimGrid seasons, focusing on console platforms. For now, just on ACC console. Matchmaking systems throughout the day. There are 4 series to start from: Quick Race, Proving Grounds, Half-Hour Dash, and Mini Enduro. Quick Race is like 10-minute races. Proving Grounds is a bit longer. Half-Hour Dash is half-an-hour races, obviously. And Mini Enduros... Come on. I should just open this, shouldn't I? And then we can actually read it. I did go through this.
Oh, that's my screen.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. There you go. Proving Ground slightly longer than Quick Race, but this time with a qualifying session. Half-hour dash, half an hour. And prizes likely to appear for the series in future. Mini Enduro, flagship series where drivers will need to consider pit stops, weather, and race strategy. And more prizes as well will be available for that. Now, you can get a free subscription to this and get access to the quick races. However, you will need to pay... You will need to pay $6 per month in order to get the other series. $6 per month. How do you think that rates? I think if it's a game that you're a big fan of, I think it's fine.
It's tough because on a console, you pay for, you have to forgive my terminologies, I don't play them anymore.
PlayStation Plus
and Xbox Gold. Yep. You pay that because that gives you the privilege of competing online. So I get it. And yeah, I mean, if they're spending money on sim equipment, this is the problem. Where this is great, by the way, not dissing this at all. The problem is we're at the period now where people want to invest in sim gear, then swap to a PC. Because what are you going to do? You're going to spend, you're going to buy a DD for a PlayStation game or an Xbox game. So even ACC without this, you know, what are you, you're not going to spend all this money for AI? That's what I'm saying. So this is great, though. So great. I don't know if you saw the news I posted that it brought their website down.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
So they published it, was really excited. So many people flocked to it that they couldn't even accept credit cards anymore because their site went down.
Mark Custis saying PS Plus is free these days. I didn't realise that.
Oh, is it?
We had to set up some PlayStations at work and we paid for it. So is that really new, Mark? I don't know. But when we were saying that up a couple of months ago, we had to pay, I think. But maybe I'm missing something. So I think that pretty much covers SimGrid seasons. Do check it out if you are.
But it's great. So SimGrid have announced this today. LFM have announced the AMS thing today. They're all. I don't think, because obviously Coach Dave and SimGrid are one company. I don't think they own LFM in any way, but they are partnered up. Like the LFM rating system works on SimGrid now. Like
Sure.
if you go to a SimGrid Enduro, you can bring across your matchmaking and stuff. But I think they are separate entities.
Sure.
Very exciting, exciting, exciting.
Yeah, good stuff.
I didn't know about the PS Plus. I've got a PlayStation, but to be honest, I don't know. I don't know what I have on it. I actually sound old. I heard myself say that.
Yeah.
I heard myself. I just turn it on, put in the disc. No, I don't have a disc.
Let's move on to our next story. GTR Revival, or should we say something else now? Because they're changing their name. It used to be GTR Revival.
How can you say? How can? Sorry to interrupt. How can you change your name when you haven't named? Like it hasn't been named.
But I just call it GTR Revival, right?
No, but I mean they're announcing a name change to a product they still haven't released.
Yeah.
Work on something else, like releasing the damn title. We don't care. Like how you writing this tweet has delayed the game.
But I mean that's a questionable perspective of work management. What I would say, it has already changed name. It used to be GTR Revival, and then they changed it, so they got rid of one of the R's. So then it became GT Revival. So there was that change about a year ago. But then there was a media event at Silverstone at the weekend, and they announced that they're going to be changing the name. But I don't think they've announced the new name. They've also changed their publisher. They were
How can you change? You haven't published. Like, how do you change publisher? What did the previous publisher do?
Well, apparently Plyon were involved before.
Guys, we're not going to use you anymore. Yeah, it's right. We've been sat on the sideline for 3 years. We haven't.
You were using us? What? This is news to us.
I don't understand this. Ian Bell. It's like he every now and then finds Twitter. Oh, guys, we're adding helicopters. Here's a 4D render, and you. Then he's just I'm bored now.
Yeah, but
I'll rename it.
we put that on the show when that happens, so it's good PR. Like we know about this game, and I'm sure several of our viewers are aware of this game as well.
I don't think they are,
even though it's a while away from being released. And Ian Bell is a very questionable fellow when it comes to like his marketing. But I think it works well. He shows off, and he's enthusiastic about it.
The only thing people hold against him was that for the Forza terribleness, where he said this is going to be like the next generation of sim race. Not Forza, Project Cars. The one.
No, but he left before Project Cars 3 came out.
But he did say this is working towards to be like next generation. I can't remember what he said.
Maybe.
Don't worry, I like him. He's so enthusiastic, and he's worked on amazing titles. But I want to see the game, man.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that did come up when I was reading, they ditched Unreal Engine earlier this year, so that might be part of the reason why they've been delayed. Because basically they want to go VR from release, and Unreal is so bad on VR that they're like, well, we can't use Unreal. So.
Well, that's funny. Because Unreal 5, we're seeing not Dirt Rally, the EA Rally, whatever it's called, and other titles start to announce and bring VR to the market. So you're telling me they've changed game engine, renamed it twice, and changed their publisher?
Yeah.
So what he's really announced is, guys, this is not going well.
Yeah. They seem to be quite rich as well. Like, apparently the developers just drive around cars at, like, various circuits around the world.
What did we learn? This is loud. Yeah. Did you record anything? Oh, sorry. I didn't bring any recording equipment. Tomorrow, promise. Tomorrow I'll go around and I promise I'll record
I'll
it.
need to have another go, guys. So, yeah. I think it'll be at least a couple of years until that gets released. It was originally meant to be, I think, at the end of this year. But, yeah, that was not going to happen. Let's move on. Ferrari Esports Series. So I'm not totally familiar with this championship, but I think it is a bit established. It has been running in the past. And so this is like the official Ferrari.
And across all
Yes.
sims, right?
On this edition, they're using AC, ACC, and iRacing. Now, I'm not exactly sure how they're planning to implement each of those, but they are using each of them. I think iRacing has its first admission to the championship. In the next couple of months, very soon, in fact, there's going to be pre-qualifiers, and there's going to be 3 different regions as well that you compete within: the Americas, Asia and Pacific, and then Europe and Africa.
Where did they get that idea from?
In terms of regions?
The F4 thing.
I
Sounds like a complete rip-off.
And then yeah, you got regional races in July, regional finals in September and October, and then they pick 5 drivers. I'm not entirely sure how, because there's 3 areas, but apparently 5 drivers get picked, and they go to a LAN final in December. And this is the first time they have a LAN final.
And sorry, am I reading this right?
The
winner gets a Ferrari Esports team spot.
Yeah.
Wait, I have a question. Okay. So let's say we fund a driver through it. Okay. You know, we pick one of our best.
Sure.
I'm confused. And he wins, and now he drives for not us.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing, isn't it? It's meant to be like anyone. If you're just like a kid who's
No,
good at
but it's
driving.
called the Ferrari Esports Series. So they should just call it the Ferrari Series, and you win a spot on the like. They've named the event Esports, right?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, and I think it'd be quite cool as well if it was like the Ferrari Trial Series or something
Yeah.
like that.
Winner gets a spot on a team. Okay.
Also, there's going to be some Thrustmaster wheel or Thrustmaster equipment prizes and Ferrari merch prizes as well, if that makes you want to take part. So yeah, that's the big prize you get racing for Ferrari.
So I actually competed in the Thrustmaster ACC recent event with all the streamers and the pros. Had no idea what I was doing. Chat was talking me through it. I put in like 3 hours prep, jumped in, got a podium, won a prize. They sent me a Ferrari replica wheel. I was like,
Wow.
sweet. It arrived. It only mounts to a Thrustmaster DD. Okay.
You sell it?
No, it makes a really good monitor stand. So my monitor's now raised up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, no, honestly, it's solid. It's got a good solid base. The box is well built. I don't think any flex in the monitor. And I didn't need to worry about storage. It's in the original packaging.
Sure.
So it's holding value as well.
Yeah.
It's great.
So yeah, feel free to take part in that if you are so inclined.
Oh my God, this next story.
Moza have moved into flight sim equipment, one of the premium sim racing equipment manufacturers, and they're now doing flight sim stuff.
This looks insane, by the way, what they've built.
A teaser on X. This is an overtake.gg article.
Look at that middle thing.
So it's a bit unclear exactly what this stuff is.
Well, the middle one, that's a DD with a joystick rammed on the motor.
How, like, where do you put the DD?
Yeah,
Because are we going to need like flight sim rigs? Because obviously you can't attach a DD to a desk, and that's where you would mount your.
It's going to be so heavy. I don't understand. 7 Newton meters in a joystick. Sorry, I don't know if it's reported, but I believe it's 7 Newton meters.
I don't think that was reported. No.
Yeah, insider trading.
Sure.
Yeah, it's going to break your wrist. I mean, I get that anyway, but I don't think people are 7. Like when we handle the rest of the numbers we're talking about, we're handling, you know, in your core. That's.
I mean, it'll be so. Well, yeah, it'll be cool in like because in the movies.
Sure. Yeah.
Pull up. And you don't, and of course in real life you just go like that and it goes. But like you don't really appreciate that stuff.
Yeah.
But maybe we will do now. What other? Oh dear. Oh, sorry, I'm just losing my mind. So yeah, teaser on X that they'll be at the Flight Sim Expo from June the 21st to the 23rd. June 21st is today, so it's this weekend. Also, Microsoft's Flight Simulator 2024 is released on the 19th of November.
That looks great, by the way.
Maybe they're trying to get out some stuff before that gets released, because there's a lot of hype about that.
They've added all the search and rescue, putting out fires. Like,
Yeah, you got different game modes now.
Oh,
yeah.
the game modes are what I'm
Sure.
going to start.
Because that is the issue with Flight Sim, isn't it? Is that it's like, oh, it looks cool, but I'm just flying around a plane. Whereas if you've got stuff to actually do, if you've got tasks to complete,
Correct.
rather than just,
If I'm just
New
flying
York to Heathrow.
if I'm just flying from A to B, all I've got is chat, and you've seen them. Imagine just chat.
Sure.
So if I'm saving people, putting out fires, and delivering parcels and medical, then it's 50-50.
One of the commenters in that article, in that overtake.gg article, mentioned the force feedback. Basically said that if we have force feedback in Flight Sim, then that would be a massive win, because that's an underselling market.
Yeah, I am actually sure it's gonna be great. I do have the same issues you with mounting, weight. Like, I just don't.
I just don't know what what do you mount it to? I just don't, unless they release that as well.
Yeah, it's some sort of cage thing that goes around it and then mounts the side of an aluminium profile, which puts it roughly in the same spot. But yeah, for desk users, it's
Yeah.
it's not right.
Keep your eyes out for that. I'm sure more details will be released at the Flight Sim Expo this weekend, so watch out for images from that. Le Mans Ultimate has received a spike. So because of Le Mans 24, they reached a 2K users game, which is their highest peak since March. It was released in February, middle of February, if I recall correctly. Now, do you think this was because of the promotion that they did at Le Mans, or do you think this was just because of Le Mans?
Good question. Because of Le Mans. I don't think the promotion was enough.
I didn't see much promotion, no.
They sort of made it too subtle, like they think they're Coca-Cola or something.
But maybe I think it's maybe because the game isn't as progressed as they'd hoped it would be. So there's not much to announce. We've been talking about the DLC stuff, but obviously even they're like, well, yeah, we're not actually going to have the content out until 8 months' time, something like that, 8-9 months.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it was the event, not the marketing. The marketing was fine, but it was just one word, because the word Le Mans was everywhere. It was just the word ultimate.
Sure.
And they didn't really convey it half the time. Like one scene I was watching with an interview, the logo was in the bottom left the whole time, but I didn't notice, because again, it's one word. That's the only word that's being added here. But yeah, it hit 2,000 odd people. It's dropped to around 1,100. I've been racing it all week. I haven't actually touched iRacing. 8 to 12 splits, every race fill in, very minimal bugs. Like in the sim, no bugs. I had 2 menu crashes, but before you get the pitchforks, remember I was playing this for 17 hours and 40 minutes over 3 days. 17 hours.
Sure.
You know, to most iRacers, that's their season.
So yeah, they're the numbers at the moment.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's impressive.
And
It's still got a long way to go, but
I think now that those glitches aren't quite as evident, I know that you did pick up on a couple of bits, but like that's not going to push people away like it maybe was doing. And of course, we got to remember as well, like they were really unlucky that iRacing Rain came out a couple of weeks after. I know that iRacing Rain isn't super popular, but it just took away the momentum,
the bubble, yeah,
from that first 3 weeks, because they literally had 2 weeks, I think, and then iRacing Rain came out, and it just everyone wanted to drive that, and then it takes effort to bring them back to the game.
Every sim racing streamer was doing iRacing Rain.
Yeah.
I mean, 90% of them didn't race in the rain. I'm looking at all of them, but yeah. But yeah, so you're right. All the streamers, I know it's not just about streamers, but streamers give away free promotion. You know, everyone's got their viewers and a player base and a community around them, so it helps. But yeah, Le Mans hit the iRacing Rain problem right early on. But yeah, I had fantastic fun. I mean, there was an update. So I played it for 3 days, 17 and a half hours, and there was an update during it.
Okay, yeah.
Just, I mean, the way they introduce it, it's a bit much. You know, you're in the menu and it goes, ah! And then update, you're like, thanks. And it goes, done. You're like, that was seamless. And you go straight back into the game. Never in sim When you're
Sure.
in the car, I've never had a problem. Again, if you're in the menus and they decide they want to do something, task manager, it's like, oh, okay, I won't change that setting.
Sure.
Update's due. Okay, we're doing it. All right.
So now some news on some more hardware. Actually, we already talked about Moza, but new products. And to be fair, this was actually reported about 11 days ago by Traction, but I missed it last week. And I just wanted to ask your question. Do you think we need rest pedals? This is reported by Traction. Heusinkveld have got a rest pedal released to take the strain out of sim racing for stuff such as Le Mans when your left foot has nothing to do.
Well,
I don't get it.
I do, because you've got to remember how many people only buy the 2-pedal set. So, because you're thinking in your head, why don't you use the clutch?
Sure.
Nobody, like, it's what, an extra, always like an extra 150, 200 quid for the clutch. I have looked into one before, actually. I'm not going to lie. A long time ago, I looked into one. I might have actually bought this recently as well.
Oh, really?
If I was going to, but I didn't have room.
Okay.
My pedal plate in the way I've mounted my pedals, I just don't have the room for it. But yeah, I wouldn't mind a rest pedal. But again, I'm not comparing myself to the average sim race. I'm in the rig so much. So a pedal where I can rest my brake foot sounds great. Yeah, I'm in the rig a lot. So it would be nice.
Sure, yeah.
But
I'm not sure what
it's
I do
too
with
close. My biggest problem, it's too close to the clutch pedal price. It's 80 odd quid,
it's
isn't it?
€88.26.
And I'm assuming a clutch is sort of 150 to 200. So it's too close.
Yeah, sometimes not even that.
Yeah. So, and if you really are, you could just go on eBay or Craigslist, wherever you live in the world, and just buy any brand, whether it's VRS, whether it's Fanatec, whether it's, just buy a clutch pedal. It can be broken, right? It doesn't matter. You don't want any of the wiring.
Well, one could even say you could just whack something on there. I mean, I'm not sure how
Correct.
you'd necessarily
You
mount
could
it,
set a
but
tape a spud there, yeah.
if you got a bit of DIY about you, then yeah, you could probably figure something out.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to go on Apex Racing simulators to see how much.
What, a clutch only? I don't know if many people sell a clutch only.
I was thinking comparing the 2-pedal thing to the 3-pedal thing. So the 3-pedal set is 710. 2-pedal set 515. So you're talking 195.
1-pedal clutch only. Here you go.
And yeah, 1 pedal.
Okay, so
195.
yeah, that's not a bad deal then.
It's 100 quid less, like, to be fair, than a VRS clutch. I don't know. I just bite the bullet and probably just get the clutch. And then if you do want to use the clutch in future, then, but I don't know. I get if people don't want to spend.
Don't get me wrong. I have like 7 clutch pedals. I did just want it because it was nice and tall and thin. Like,
sure.
It has one advantage over a clutch. It's thinner, much thinner.
Oh dear. Okay, so we're going to talk about this. This is the last sim racing news story, and in my opinion, it's not news. But David saw this. Hang on.
Has it been pulled?
Maybe we want to beat something here. David, you're right all along.
It might have had a. I would go to IMSA direct. Maybe the link had a. We are checking.
Oh, I've got it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So this
was a tweet from IMSA.
Yeah, but iRacing reshared and collabed on it as well. So this is iRacing versus reality. The iRacing clip is a Mustang, but this thing is a Aston Martin. And so the theory from David.
No. Hypothetically theory. I didn't.
Okay, so Lewis Ford is absolutely down for this. He absolutely bought it. He thinks now that the Aston Martin is going to be added to iRacing. I don't personally think it. I think these people just don't think, and they just think, a Mustang, an Aston is similar enough, isn't it? They're both GT2s. We'll compare a lap between the two of them.
This is GT4s, right?
Oh, are they?
I think so, judging by their pace.
But this is a Mustang, isn't it? The top one.
Oh, maybe you're right. No, you are. Is that the? What? Yeah, no, you're right. It is the G. I haven't watched this properly myself, mate. I just saw the AMR logo and the Aston Dash
And iRacing.
and
Just
iRacing.
it's coming, people. But for people who don't know, I think newer iRacers may not be familiar, is that the Aston Martin deal was announced in like 2013, I think, or 2012. And so it's been like 11 or 12 years. And in that time, I think we've had a GT1 and a GT4. We've never had the GT3. So I'm just very skeptical about it.
The
Aston
only
Martin
reason-
seem really tricky to work with.
But the only reason it could happen now, the only reason we have some hope isn't that video. It's that we know, surely, because of its IMSA edition, that we're getting
Sure.
the Aston Martin GTP.
Yes.
So
Do we have all the IMSA GTTs?
Yep, but obviously Aston and Lambo are coming.
Okay, yeah.
Well, they're not. They don't drive in IMSA yet. As a chat can correct me, I don't think we have either of those.
Right.
We'll be getting those hopefully end of the year for the 2025. Hopefully. And Bop the Acura.
Of course.
No, it doesn't matter. I'm going full time Automobilista too, and then
yeah.
LME was back up.
Yeah.
So doesn't matter anymore. I waited.
Do you think you could potentially go 1 day per week? So it's like, today is
Of the whole week, I
LME.
haven't touched iRacing in a week.
sure.
But I could.
Because then your viewers would think,
He's lost it.
no, but your viewers could go, well, he's on iRacing today, I'll tune in. Or, he's on LMU today, I'll tune in.
Nah, you just
don't
got to go where the wind takes you.
Sure.
That's it. That's the way it works.
You were talking about bopping the Acura, so I'll mention it. Abruzzi Aerial Endurance starts next week, and we have bopped the Acura. So if you want to drive a GTP car, which isn't the Acura, and want to win a race, then the series is for you. You can still register any time before round 1, as long as the slots don't fill. I did get a message earlier on from, I think it was Kevin Kitzelman, who let me know that
Sweet.
he was signing up. So that would be another driver on the grid. But at the moment...
Sorry, Mark Cussers in chat is reminding me I did drive iRacing for about 7 seconds on Saturday. The Watkins Glen 6 hour.
Oh yeah, how did that go for you?
Yeah, so second split. Nice surprise.
Wow.
Yeah, qualified P5. Not going to say who qualified, but it wasn't me. And I started the race. Well, technically I didn't. No, I died on the outlap.
Oh really?
Yeah, not my own fault, before you ask.
I wasn't
Into the
gonna
last
ask.
corner,
Sure.
side by side, and I mean, he later apologised, like later in the evening, but he just came across like I wasn't there.
Wow.
We're dead.
Did anyone else get caught up?
Don't care. No, I mean, no, I didn't. No one
Man,
did.
that's horrible.
No, there was an accident caused by someone. Everyone got through, but a team we know, they actually did check up to be careful, and they got pounded from behind. So,
Sure.
but
Oh yeah, that is annoying. I mean, the closest thing I've come to that is being wiped out 5 minutes into Daytona 24, and then
dude, last Daytona 24, I did it twice. And the second one lasted less than the first. Oh,
Sure.
Whatever. I'm an LMU AMS streamer now.
So here's the entries at the moment. This actually is a bit out of date. So we've actually got 14 GTPs, 11 LMP2s, and I think Kevin will be the 25th GTD. So we will have 50 drivers at least on the grid come this evening, I think.
That's awesome. I'd love to do it, but I will be in the commentary booth here next Friday, and we will
Yes.
be eating pizza while we cover it.
Oh man, yeah. What are we gonna do about pizza? I mean, we order pizza really early these days, don't we?
Yeah, but I think we should eat it here.
Yeah, but I've done commentaries before when I've been eating, and people have gone, "Why is that man eating? It's horrible."
So just mute the mic and eat, and let the race talk for itself for a bit.
Sure. Talk for itself a bit is
Talk for
is a
itself.
fantastic kind of phrase. Total BS phrase. It's like, guys, sure I haven't said anything for the last 2 laps, but yeah, I'm just letting the race talk for itself. You don't need to commentate on this stuff. You know, it speaks for itself.
Yeah, I'm not even needed.
Here is the accurate bop. 1% power reduction, 5% weight, or 5 kilos weight, sorry, and 2% fuel capacity taken out. So
Good.
the Acura. Currently 4 Acuras out of 14.
By the way, I'd like to add that I feel like I had something to do with that because Sam and Lewis were talking.
Yeah, you kicked me.
Yeah, they were talking about it.
We were going to implement a BOP. Like, the BOP is in the rules that we do implement our own one. But yeah, you convinced me to put it on social media.
Yeah.
Because you said it, and then a couple of days later, I was messaging someone, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't want it because it'll just be Acura Cup." And it's like, yeah, we haven't promoted this very well, have we? There's a BOP, mate.
What you adding? Fuel, weight, engine.
Anything more?
Basically,
stewarding calls.
plus a 30-second penalty for turning up in it. Hey, Alan. Yeah, everyone would be safer.
Sure. Yeah.
Man, I've had such bad luck recently. My 5.8's 5.6.
Yeah.
And no skill alone. No skill had nothing to do with it. I'm in a luck phase, man. Right now, I'm in a bad luck phase. Anyway, I've retired.
Also, ARA Super Formula Light starts in 3 weeks' time.
I'm going to look into that if I can do that. Thursday evenings, right?
Thursday evening. First round is on the 11th of July. Pro Am and Am divisions.
What's the cut for pro?
Rounds. It depends who signs up.
Me.
You will be. I think you'll be pro. Yeah, I'd be surprised if you weren't pro.
Excellent. Well, unless I keep going in the same direction I'm going, right?
Sure. Yeah, I think you need to drop down to about 4K.
Mark is asking, is it weekly or bi-weekly?
It is weekly, Mark.
For how long?
8 weeks. So it'll be over and done with by the end of August.
Because Mark can only do bi-weekly. How many drop rounds are there?
1.
Ow.
Sorry, Mark. Maybe next time. Do ARL Endurance Park. You'd be welcome.
Without me? No. No, he's not allowed. He drives only with me.
But if he does badly, then you can be like, "Oh, I've carried you for all the good results that we've had."
Yeah, do it then.
Yeah. That's Apex Racing League covered. Let's talk about Apex Racing Team. We've got a new driver. A man who you may be familiar with. Hugh Barter has joined the team. Hugh is a real-life, former FIA F3 driver. Really talented driver. I think he's based down under at the moment. But here was the nice little poster that Lewis created. He's already raced with us for Nords and for Watkins, and he is rapid. So he'll be a really good addition to the team.
He is rapid.
And he is only 18 years old. And he's already done a season of FIA F3. He's not racing anything this year, but he is really keen to return to IRL racing, and I think it's only a matter of time till he does. But of course, with all that stuff, it's just gathering the funding.
Pretty impressive. Hugh, Elias, Dunn, and
Gordy,
and the Porsche guy, Adam.
Yep.
And me and you, obviously, but like.
Yeah. I won kart races when I was 12.
I won a kart race.
Yeah.
Many years ago when I was lighter.
So really pleased that Hugh's involved, and I think it might well be a good upgrade for the team as well. So we also had ESL R1 today, and this was the first round of the Drivers' Championship. So we've had 3 rounds in the teams, but really the teams didn't matter because it was just establishing the seedings for the finals.
This was the first week of mattering.
But the Drivers is competitive. 48 drivers, top 9.
Oh, sorry.
Get a spot in like the finals, sort of.
At the LAN, yeah.
So 24. So everyone's at the LAN. All 48 drivers are at the LAN. 24 drivers have a chance at taking part in the proper LAN at the event. The top 9 get straight through to say round 2 of the LAN, but then 10th down to 24 have to do a 1 race shootout, basically.
Content.
In order to get themselves into 9th down to 20th, I guess it would be, have to do a 1 race shootout in order to see who joins the others. So it's really important you get top 9. So important you get top 9. 10th, and you're probably not going to have a chance, because once you get in that top 9, then you've won thousands of pounds of prize money, you know? That's confirmed. So really important, so much pressure, and it's only 3 rounds as well. So, like, so much pressure on the guys.
So Dane is going to have a night. He had a disconnect in the first race from the lead.
Yeah. Yeah, Dane Warren.
Yeah.
Got
Was leading the race and lost. I jumped on the Porsche stream and what's her name?
the presenter.
No.
I'm not sure. But yeah, it was really high pressure for the guys. I think Johan, Jamie, and Kev all got through from the knockout round, so that's the first race. Then they go into the semi-finals. Unfortunately, Johan and Jamie got knocked out in the semi-finals. But to be fair, the Merc is very weak at Hockenheim, so they might be better at the other rounds. But Kev managed to do phenomenally well. Managed to finish P2 in the final, and that is a huge amount of points and puts him on a good track to get into the top 9. Still going to need some good results in the next 2 rounds, but Kev has given himself a very good shot.
He split Rogers and Sebi.
Mm.
That's not an easy place. And it was Leonie.
Ah.
She confirmed that he just had a small internet drop.
Sure.
And obviously, it's not just points in the race. It's that you don't get through to the semis and finals where you also, even if you do badly, you score more points.
Yeah.
So it's big, right? Because imagine that was his race. He scored nothing in one isolated round, whereas others who came 4th, then they may have come 5th. They're now through to the final. So they've scored all these points. And there aren't many, what is there, 3 rounds of this?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's top
So
9. Top 9 has to be perfect. And, you know, you've got, what, Sebi, Rogers, Beneker, that are like, you know, practically shoo-ins. Chinchik. And obviously Kev is looking like an absolute animal.
Well, I mean, to be fair to Kev, he finished, what, P11, I think, in the spring season last year. Came really close at Munich, didn't he, to get into day 2. And then the Saudi event finished like P9, I want to say. And then the fall event finished like P9 again. So like he's like one of them who is going to be right on the cusp, most likely.
Yeah, and Yuri Toman, you know.
Toman, yeah.
Last season made every final
as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you could go on for a while.
You could name them all because they're all elites.
Some of them are going to miss out on top 9.
Yeah.
So, yeah, really high stakes. Great work from Kev to do that. Series returns next week. We will be streaming it. So do check that out on twitch.tv /Apex Racing Team. I think it was John and Pete bringing you the action today.
We missed out on, we saw all the knockouts and the first semi.
Yeah. So that is Apex Racing Team. Now, Apex Racing TV, I've been lacking recently when it comes to moments. And when I say I've been lacking, the other commentators have been lacking because they haven't been tagging stuff. But we have content this week. And this was a good race. This was Racing Unleashed, GR86s in the wet at Spa. And this was a fun final lap between Patrick Thompson, who, a bit like you, David, was having his arms flailing about.
Excuse me?
90% of the time.
Me and Patrick are beasts, mate. So you need to learn whatever it is we have, mate.
You are both better drivers than me. Patrick went wide at Eau Rouge and lost the lead.
Ooh.
This is the last lap of the race.
No, I like Patrick. I met him when the Daytona event was on here. Yeah, really nice guy.
I drove him to Stansted at 4 in the morning. This was pausing, losing the lead.
Oh,
just went a bit wide.
These are great cars.
This Racer League event was honestly one of the best Racing Unleashed events. With not a big field, only 17 drivers, but really good racing.
What is that ARA livery?
Oh, it's just, there's not a proper one. Just lap on the ARA logo.
Oh!
And unfortunately, Belicky had an instant.
Yeah.
This was a big shame for Lewis. He actually got pole, was leading in the early stages, made a mistake and lost the lead. I was trying to make his way back through. But Patrick won. And once again, his hands go straight to his head.
Yeah, we're beasts, mate. That's how you do it.
There was also just craziness at Puon. I'll open all of these.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's alright, it's alright.
No, it's not.
Oh no, that one's loading.
Yeah.
Don't wait. Ah, one of them's just started. No, this might be right.
Thompson and they got caught out. It's been another moment. That's Cyril
Oh
Zambrano.
no, no. You're so right, David.
Look, in the top right. My arm's flailing. Look, top right.
Oh yeah.
P5.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
So here was the issues at Puon, which I think we're going to post as a separate instant.
Curbs, yeah.
Curbs.
Yeah.
But synchronized spinning.
It's not even just curbs, it's the how do you not touch the curb when you're gliding out. Look, you've got no traction, no traction, no grip, no grip, no grip. Curb. Try and turn.
And that actually cost Patrick probably winning the entire meeting as well. Was looking good before that.
Yeah, it's tricky.
This was Torlashki and Krucken.
P11 on the back
Exactly.
Oh.
They both lost it all on their own.
And this was the last one. This was, I think, Luis from the lead in race 2. He did end up winning the event anyway, but he got on the curb as well. So whenever there's wet racing at Spa, watch out for that one.
Yeah, definitely.
Because these were some very, very good drivers, and they're all falling in for it. Oh, this is a fun one. Oh, sorry. Do you think they'll get through?
The guy on the centre will. Oh! Called it! Centre. Well done. Centre, yeah! Pay the winner. I actually thought I was wrong for a second there. Yeah, I mean, why would you? Yeah. The centre, you can just always be knocked straight.
This was a good battle. So the movements of these Formula Fords are insane. They almost move a bit like the IRO one, in terms of they four-wheel drive even on the straights.
West on the outside, Rodriguez on the inside. It's a photo finish here with Jason Green on the inside.
And West ends up winning it.
Which is West, the blue and white?
No, I think the green and white. The one on the outside.
West on the outside, Rodriguez on the inside. It's a photo finish here with Jason
Yeah,
Green
you're
on the
right.
inside.
So good finish there. Oh, this is fun.
After how things went for him in this spec
Oh,
racer Ford race. And oh
do a
my
flip.
God, Paul Jackson going for a front flip. Oh my God, multiple times. Is he gonna stick the landing? Yes, he does.
So that was impressive how he managed to do that. Here is a replay of it.
Poor guy. I like his hat.
Yeah.
Bruv, where you go? Yoy. Okay, noted. Car weighs 4 grams.
That's almost like a beret, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Is it actually a beret or is it a different?
It's not
I'm
a berry.
sure.
No.
It's not a beret. I was thinking, but it's a bit quite similar.
I had to wear a berry for years with all the
You had to.
air cadets and all that.
Oh, okay, sure. You see, when I think of berets, I think of Parisians. I think this is some bad driving.
Well, the green car, what is he doing? Yeah.
And they lose the win. And Megan Overstreet goes through. To be fair, though, to Green, he did slow down and let West past before the line. But I think the damage had been done. Thomas Hansen saying this is the real fun part for the guys listening on the podcast. True. We tried to speak it through, but I do recommend anyone listening along to check out the YouTube stream because these are some good clips. Or just check out the Apex Racing TV monthly highlights because these clips are all in there. We've got a couple more. Again, we haven't done these for a couple of weeks, so we're making up for it. Just absolutely massive pile on this one. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And this was a. We'll finish off with this overtake because this was good.
Oh.
Aaron Smith in chat. Those driving standards nearly as bad as David's Tarkov skills.
Hey, what? I'm
Catching
getting better.
strays.
into the bus stop. It's very easy to overslow there and to outbrake somebody.
Rafa
and make a
Blanco, the
pass.
Uruguayan.
Takes a lot of practice finding the
Chasing
limits
down
under braking.
who the
These
drivers ahead.
radicals are great.
He's the new
great
radicals,
move.
yeah.
And here
I
we
say
are
new, the
racing
new
with
boy.
Blanco now. Is
And
he
he
going to get
manages
his
to get
pass
past
for
off
one
there.
here? Oh my
The acceleration,
goodness.
it's
It
almost
looks
like he's got
he
like a boost or
does.
something.
There's how you take
Manages to
advantage
get
of
past.
the draft, although he's still vulnerable on the
Good
outside.
racing
Does
between
that
those
outside
cars
move into
at Spa. It's a good slipstream circuit, obviously, and I think yeah, that is one of the best tracks in that Radical SR10. Well, that rounds out Apex Racing TV, and that rounds out everything I was going to say. Anything more that you want to say?
AMS2. I don't know what I was going to say about it, but yeah, really excited.
Sure.
If I have a reason to actually play it longer than, oh, I've done a few tracks and I've raced the AI, what do I do?
So on AMS2, I'm not totally familiar with it. Like, that will be, you think the online will be mod-based, or do you think it will be using the base content?
It will not be mod-based. It will be like ACC, where you literally use their server browser to connect. So you register on LFM's website for the race, you get given an ID and a password, and then when the session's up, you use it, you join it, and then you'll be in the right. It'll give you like a split designation, and the server name will have the split name, and you join the split. And then, yeah, just it will all be baked in. Plus, this doesn't, like, here's the difference as well. Let me explain one difference with the ACC integration. ACC had this fully fledged system with an API against their servers. LFM came in and were like, oh, we could build something, and did. No collaboration. They just built it. Okay? This is different because AMS dropped the ball. I mean, LFM spoke about this a long time ago. People were asking for AMS2, AMS2, AMS2. But LFM came out and were like, look, no, LFM or AMS? LFM came out and were like, it's not going to happen. Like, we want it to happen, but they were almost insinuating, like, you've not seen their servers. Like, it's just, no matter what we build, it's not going to happen. Yeah. Sounds confused. No, I mean, there's nothing to do. It's just no different to iRacing.
Yeah, it's fairly simple, and yeah, you go on the website and yeah, find the race and
you just join it. Yeah, there's no real difference to iRacing. Like, and even iRacing has the two thing. We have the UI and the sim.
Sure.
Like, I don't get why the design languages are so different. Why they're two separate apps. I don't get that. I mean, yeah. But LFM works amazing. Almost 200,000 people, active users, and every time someone tells me iRacing's busier, I compare iRacing at Spa to ACC at Alton Park. And for some reason, these numbers are matching and leaning Alton. It's like, how?
Yeah.
If we go iRacing Alton Park versus ACC Alton Park LFM, I mean, yeah, such a shame.
Yeah.
So, yeah, bring on AMS2. Really, really excited. Plus, I've mentioned it a minute ago, but I want to say it again. They have the full endurance pack. They've got Le Mans, all the endurance cars, the GTP. Like, this is going to be hyper. Get it? Hyper. But yeah, excited.
Yeah, it should be really good. So thank you for tuning in. Of course, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Check out our other broadcast, particularly Abruzzi ARL Endurance on Friday. Do tune in for that. It'll be a really good event. And of course, tune in next week for late Apex. Next few might be a little bit earlier. Maybe like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but we'll probably post something on socials when we make a decision. But keep an eye out on the YouTube channel to check when we do that. But for now, from myself, Sam, and from David, we'll say goodbye, and we'll see you next time.
Ciao, ciao.